Man, that's tough. I've been doing this since 1998, so there are a tremendous amount of athletes that I've worked with. One of the most impressive athletes that I've ever worked with is a guy named Christian Cantwell, who is a seven-time world champion in throwing the shot put. He was a silver medalist in the Beijing Olympics. He would do repetitions on bench press very fast with 250 kilograms. And he benched well over 300 kilograms. Physically he was obviously one of the best that has ever done it. And now his son is going to be even better than him. But he was one of the most impressive athletes that I've ever worked with physically, just from the physical output standpoint. There was another athlete named Jackie Stiles, who was a women's basketball player that I worked with. I was at Southwest Missouri State. She pretty much single-handedly took our team to the Final Four. She was by far the hardest working athlete that I have ever seen. The work ethic, the drive, on anything that was really a anaerobic type stuff. If you're familiar with sports complexes, she as a women's basketball player would be using the same loads on those metabolic complexes that are offensive linemen who are 150 kilos. She is maybe 65 kilos, and they're using the same loads. It was just absolutely breathtaking to watch her in her environment. And then another athlete that is absolutely dominant that I had the pleasure of working with while I was a graduate assistant at Mizzou was an athlete named Max Scherzer, a baseball player that, when they say Mad Max, they're right. I knew that guy was going to be beyond rich and famous whenever he was at Mizzou. And just the type of person he was, his work ethic, his relentlessness, his competitiveness. He's 40 and still making waves in baseball. He is definitely one of the most impressive athletes that I've worked with for the way that he approached the game and the way that he approached his preparation of the game. I could go on and on. I remember Sean Weatherspoon squatting over 700 pounds below parallel as a linebacker, right? A guy that weighs maybe 105, 110 kilos, squatting 340 kilos plus, and doing it fast. I could just talk for hours about the feats of the athletes that I've worked with over the decades. But I'll have to stop with those because I'm pretty sure that you don't have the storage to be able to keep going on that. But that's definitely, I've worked with a lot of good ones, so I can tell stories on that.